me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this, because you're my very dear friend. So we hear this repeatedly. So I'm going to read today to you from this particular shloka, which is very famous. We have done it many times. Text 65 of chapter 18. We will read that and chant that briefly today, and then we can speak a few words. So text 65, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. I think you all would like to repeat after me. I will chant each line and then you can repeat. Manmana bhava madbhakto
Manmana bhava madbhakto
madhyaji mam namaskuru
madhyaji mam namaskuru
mam evaishyasi satyam
mam
te
evaishyasi
pratijane priyosi me.
pratijane priyosi me.
Manmana bhava madbhakto
Manmana bhava madbhakto
madhyaji mam namaskuru
madhyaji mam namaskuru
mam evaishyasi satyam te
mam evaishyasi satyam te
pratijane priyosi me. Right, all of us chant together once. 1, 2, 3. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Translation: always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this, because you're my very dear friend. Purport: the most confidential part of knowledge is that one should become a pure devotee of Krishna and always think of him and act for him. One should not become an official meditator. Life should be so molded that one will always have the chance to think of Krishna. One should always act in such a way that all his daily activities are in connection with Krishna. He should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours, he cannot but think of Krishna. And the Lord's promise is that anyone who is in such pure Krishna consciousness will certainly return to the abode of Krishna. Whereas he will be engaged in the association of Krishna face to face. This most confidential part of knowledge is spoken to Arjuna because he is the dear friend of Krishna. Everyone who follows the path of Arjuna can become a dear friend to Krishna and obtain the same perfection as Arjuna. These words stress that one should concentrate his mind upon Krishna, the very form with two hands carrying a flute, the bluish boy with a beautiful face and peacock feathers in his hair. There are descriptions of Krishna found in the Brahma Samhita and other literatures. One should fix his mind on his original form of Godhead, Krishna. One should not even divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. The Lord has multifarious forms as Vishnu, Narayana, Rama, Varaha, etc. But a devotee should concentrate his mind on the form that was present before Arjuna. Concentration of the mind on the form of Krishna constitutes the most confidential part of knowledge, and this is disclosed to Arjuna because Arjuna is the most dear friend of Krishna's. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, this is obviously a very, very famous shloka, and is a conclusive portion of the Bhagavad Gita, wherein Krishna is revealing this to be the most confidential knowledge. Before that, he gave him more confidential knowledge, and before that, he gave him confidential knowledge. And now he's saying it's the most confidential knowledge, and that is to become his devotee. So, Why is Krishna saying this? Somebody who does not know anything about Bhagavad Gita does. Why is he saying this? Why is he asking that you must become my devotee? Why? Well, why is the father saying and expecting from the son that you should be loyal to me? I love you. You should love me back. There is every reason for him to feel so because he's the father. He gave birth to you. Your father and your mother gave birth to you. And therefore they have a legal right, a biological right, of course, if you want to argue in some ways. But more than these two things, they have already a connection with you, which you also can recognize and palpably feel. Therefore, what is wrong in the father expecting that you would reciprocate with love? Unfortunately, just imagine that you got lost from home when you were very young, a baby. And for 10, 15 years, or even 20 years, you never got to see your father because you thought he's dead or he thought you are dead. And then all of a sudden, somehow it's traced and you get to know. You will find, oh my gosh, are you really my father? Yes, it shows so. All the proof and all says so. I don't remember anything about you. I don't remember anything about you because you went away when you were a baby, 1.5 years old, 2 years old. How will you remember your father? I don't remember you, but I am your biological father. You got lost. Somebody stole you or whatever. And I have spent all my time searching for you and have found you now. How do I understand you're my father? I thought I'm fatherless. I'm an orphan. I was brought up by so-and-so, my foster father and mother. And they know that, they've told me that we are not your parents, but I have accepted them as parents. And today you're saying that you are the real father. And I can prove it to you by a DNA RNA test that I am your father. I can prove it to you in many ways. Yes, it happens to be your father. Right? So you have situations even in this material world where I don't have reason to believe that you are my father. I can't believe that you're asking me for love now. And I've already invested it in somebody else. And it just so happened that I got lost and I got, this is what exactly happened. You have, it says very clearly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has mentioned that somehow or the other, I got lost, right? And I have understood now you're my real father. You're my real well-wisher. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam vam vishame bhavam budau kripaya tava pada pankaja stita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram. I am eternally your kinkara, your servant. Patitam vam vishame bhavam budau. I fell down from this position into the vast material ocean, totally forgot about you. Kripaya tavapada pankaja. Now I have understood my relationship with you eternally, that you are my father forever. Pita hamasya jagato mata data pitama. As Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, father, mother, grandfather, everything I am for you. I have understood that, my dear Lord. I want to reinstate myself with you. Right? So we may get to know. We don't know, and we get to know. And it is a truth. It's a truth. It's an amazing truth. Is that I have forgotten my father. And we're just going from Janma to Janma, from life to life, and thinking this is my father and mother, and putting all my affection and love in them. And it is true, they look after me, everything, my body and everything's looked after. But existential question I have, what's really happening? Who am I? Where am I? Why do I suffer? And for all these questions, the real answer is that Krishna is the Supreme Father. And he's expressing that here, Manmana bhava matbhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru. So whenever the Lord appears, he tries to redeem conditioned souls. and shake them up from their reverie, from their dream bubble, and tell them, this is the reality. This is what is real, right? So in the beautiful pastimes of Ramachandra, great Sri Vaishnava Acharyas have analyzed that very nicely. And I've said that the Lord, he has appeared. And he says, Kaschit eva prapanno tava asmiti cha uchyate abhayam sarva bhutebhyo dadami etam vratam mama. He's telling very nicely that Kaschit eva prapanno, even for once, if you tell me, Kaschit eva prapanna, in surrender to me, I have realized, my Lord, I belong to you. Tava asmiti, I belong to you. I am yours. Tava asmiti cha uchyate. If you realize it and if you say that to me, abhayam sarva bhutebhyo, you don't have to worry at all. There will be no fear for you because I vow to protect you forever. This is Lord Ramachandra's statement, right? So Hanuman returns after finding Sita. It's such an amazing story that Hanuman realizes his power, and he is reminded by Jambavan on the shores of the ocean. And then he thinks about it, and he thinks about the lotus feet of Ramachandra, and he assumes his huge form, gets ready, and he knows he has his power, he remembers his power, and he takes off from the mountain at a deadly speed and flies in the sky. Amazing powers. And he lands up in Lanka. And he goes through everywhere, all over Ravana's palace, searching for Sita. And finally finds Sita. He finds Sita. And he gives her the message of Ramachandra. He shows her the signet ring given by Ramachandra. And she understands for sure that this is because she is also very much in great sorrow and misery. And she is wondering whether at all anything will happen. It's been months and months. And Ravana has threatened her and told her within the next 12 months, if you don't accept my proposal, I'll cut you up, eat you up. We Rakshasas like to eat sweet, tender flesh like this. Eat you up. I'm just crushing everything into short format. And the wonderful pastime of Hanuman going there is compared by the great acharyas as the soul getting lost. Sita represents the soul getting taken away by Maya and lost. And then Hanuman, like the guru, representation of Krishna, goes and explains about Krishna to the lost soul. Tells him, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, your Father. He loves you, he cares for you as much. So, rejoin him. And Hanuman makes arrangement for Sita to rejoin Rama. And he goes and says everything to Rama. And Rama also becomes very intensely involved. And they all together search out Sita and bring Sita back. And unite her with Rama. Symbolically, it is mentioned that in the same way, the representative of Krishna, the Guru, the real representative of Krishna, who speaks nothing else but the Bhagavad Gita as it is, doesn't give his own interpretation. Because Sita, even Hanuman is very intelligent person, very powerful. See, he goes, he finds Sita, he sits on the tree above that Kimshuka tree that she's sitting in, and she's sobbing, lying on the ground, her hair is in disarray, and she's very, very sad and afraid, and all the Rakshashis are surrounding her. He sees all that. And he understands that she's in a very fearful situation. If I jump in here now, It's not at all correct. Because she may think that I am one of those Rakshasas disguised, or she may think I am Ravana, or she may get afraid, or she may not respond properly. Everything will be spoiled, and everything depends on me correctly representing and approaching her and not making a mess of it. So the relationship between Krishna and the spirit soul is almost mystical. At the same time, it's very tender and fine. Only a genuine guru who really represents Krishna can understand the mechanics, and he can get the intelligence to present it properly according to the time, place, situation, and circumstance. When he presents it properly according to time, place, situation, and circumstance, only can understand properly. So that's very important. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada took this wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita to the Western world, and they have not even heard the word Krishna. They have never even touched the Bhagavad Gita. They don't know all these ideas that I am not the body, I'm spirit, soul. It's all totally new things to them. But he very nicely presented it to those people in the Western world, in America. He presented it like a music, song, dance, food, philosophy, and a wonderful lifestyle. So they all danced in Harinam Sankirtan. They liked it. And he cooked up wonderful prasadam and gave to them and said, this is sanctified spiritual food meant to elevate your consciousness. And they ate it up. And he spoke a few words and stories of Ramayana, Bhagavat, and everything. And they thought, wonderful, great stories. In this way, slowly, they became attracted. And then he gave them more and more of the understanding. And gradually, they took it up fully, very seriously. And they totally transformed. So knowing Desha Kala Patra, how to present it according to time, place, and circumstance. So Hanuman also considered, I have to do this very carefully. So he thought about it. What shall I do best? In this situation that she is in, if I just jump up in front of her, a monkey, and then say, I am Ramachandra, this thing, he'll never believe me. Although everything is true, I am. You're not going to believe me. So he sat on top, he hid himself, and he sang a beautiful, he was a very good singer. He knew the Shastra very well. Highly talented person, Hanuman is. Perfect. So he sang very beautifully about Rama. He sang that King Dasharath had no sons, and then this is what he did. He did the yaga, and then Ramachandra was born, and Ramachandra was like this, and then he went on to recollect everything, marriage of Sita. He, then came and met Parashurama, and then came down. Very beautifully, he sang it so nicely that she kept hearing, and she said, so nice to hear. Somebody is singing about Rama. And she loved it. She was wondering, where is this coming from? But he kept singing and she kept reveling in it. So nice. And then he spoke everything about Ravana coming and stealing Sita, taking her away, bringing her to Ashokvana. I said, who is this who knows all these things? And she was intrigued. And she was, wondering, wow. And it is sung so nicely, so sweetly. And then when she had adjusted herself mentally, somebody who is actually knowing these things, which mostly people don't know, some of it they know, but all these things, how does he know? She got the faith. That time he slowly made his appearance. She could see him on the tree as a monkey. And she was wondering, can this be the monkey who's singing it? Just when she was wondering, he very carefully followed her thought process, and then he got down and then he paid his namaskaram like this, very nicely, humbly. And she was thinking, what a monkey is paying obeisances to me. Sweet looking, nice monkey. Didn't look very ferocious or anything. And then he spoke very nicely in a gentle tone. My dear mother, I am coming to you. My name is Hanuman. I'm a Vanara. I am Sugriva's minister. I think you would have heard of Sugriva. Then he told about Ramachandra, how he has forged a relationship with Sugriva. And I have been sent to actually find out where you are. And we have been searching all over the globe. And I finally saw you here. I thought I should not agitate you. I want to present myself to you like this. Then she became happy. But at the same time, behind her head, she was very suspicious. This could be Ravana putting on a disguise. This could be anything. Just like we don't know for sure when people tell us about spiritual life, is this okay? Or, we take it with a pinch of salt. But as we associate more and more, we slowly have faith. I remember initially when I meet people, I speak to them about Bhagavad Gita, they have lots of other things. Say, yeah, we will see, we'll see. And then they'll say, no, I'm not coming. And then they'll say, yes, okay. Then they'll come. It just takes a long time to convince them. Similarly, Sita was wondering, after all the experience she's had, is this another trick on me? But he kept talking. He kept nicely relating, and gradually he broke open. And then he gave her the ring. That says, Ramachandra has sent this ring to you. This is just to tell you who I am. When she saw the ring, she said, no more doubts. This is a genuine messenger. Same way, a genuine messenger, a genuine teacher of the Bhagavad Gita, a genuine representative can be understood by anybody who knows certain things, basics. And when they present God to you, from inside you're inspired by the super soul, Paramatma in the heart. This is correct. This is as it is. This is what I mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. So we are an as it is parampara. All of our student-teacher, disciplic succession, we speak exactly what we have heard from the guru, from the teacher. And we clarify doubts. And then we are convinced and we speak it. There is a science and there is a way of conveying it. So here Hanuman also, he did not say anything inappropriate. He did not say anything he should not say. He did not overdo it. He did not underdo it either. He did exactly what's necessary, considering Sita's situation. Very intelligently he presented it. And Sita also was still wondering. And then when he was talking, and then he took a step forward, immediately Sita withdrew. And she went behind the tree again, looked at him. Then he knew that, oh, she's still not fully convinced. That's when he gave her the ring. And then she became fully convinced. And then Hanuman actually talked to her everything in the plan of Rama and how Rama is feeling about her and how Lakshmana thinks about her. And she was crying and she was feeling out of thinking. First representative I'm seeing after so many months of my dear husband. So she was very, very happy. And she thanked him for coming. And she called him and she said, I bless you that you should be successful. He said that actually I can take you right away now to the lotus feet of Rama. He is waiting for you and you want to see him. Mother, why don't you just climb on my shoulder and I'll jump across and take you. But Sita said, no. You will be flying with me and then people will attack you because these Rakshasas know you're doing it. They'll come behind you, attack you, and then you'll fight them. And while you're fighting, you'll lose track of me. And in the middle of the ocean, I'll fall down and I'll drown. Then he said that, I am sure that that's not bothering you. You are not afraid of that. That's not the reason. And then she explained it, yes, I want my husband Ramachandra to come. And his glory, killing Ravana and taking me back, will be known better. But if you take me and I go away, then there'll be no big thing happening. It's better he comes and he does this and he takes me back. And then he understood. He said, okay. So you can have even suggestions and proposals to the Guru and ask him questions and clarify. And it's not something written in stone only, but certain things are, of course, principle-oriented and true. But the details, how you would do, Many times it differs, and you can work that out. It's not that, there is only one way of doing things for everybody. So Hanuman, in his beautiful interaction, which is so beautifully described, and the emotions and the feelings that Hanuman had, was so happy to meet Lakshmi, to meet the consort of Ramachandra, his beloved Lord. And he wanted to do everything possible to make her happy. And then he takes leave of her. She takes blessings from him. It is a very emotional, but she sees him, she calls him a friend. She calls him my son. She calls him many affectionate things. And she's extremely happy seeing Hanuman. And Hanuman is very, very happy, and very intelligently, very kindly, he gave her great hope, and he gave her great positivity. And she became so happy after seeing Hanuman after so many months. So Hanuman occupies a very important position. Just like when we are in total forgetfulness of ourselves and about the Lord and lost in this world, there's so many different types of difficulties and problems. When that person comes and reminds you, why are you worrying like this? You're not the body. You're not this person whom you're thinking you are and putting all these things on your head. You belong to the spiritual world. Mamaivam sajiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. You belong to me. Ma Sucha, you should have no fear. I protect you. When somebody gives you good news of who you are and whom you belong to, your father is waiting for you. You're just lost, that's all. You have an eternal connection with you. You become very happy, actually. When you read the Bhagavad Gita and you seriously think about it, what is Krishna trying to tell us? And when you connect with him, and their consciousness gets purified, you really wake up. Wow, this is what's happening in this world. And that time you become really very happy. Why? Because you've got to know who you are, and you've got to know who is Krishna. You've got to know your connection. And therefore it's a new frame of thinking, new paradigm that you're in. So Sita became happy, very, very happy. And Hanuman gave her full confidence. Like Krishna is saying, Madhyaji mamnaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosyume. I promise you, this is true. You will come back to me. Whatever I'm telling you is satyam, 100% true. Hanuman was telling Sita, 100% true, Ramachandra will come and take you. Don't worry. I am just one very chota person in the whole army of Ramachandra. And look what I was able to do. I was able to jump across the whole ocean, 800 miles or so, and come here. And now you see what I will do. He also thought in his mind, he got from here and he sat on the wall and thought, what should I do to make Sita feel completely happy and good? And what should I do to leave my presence here as a souvenir, my coming here as a souvenir? Something I should do and go, because it's real good news for me. I found her and I have to go back. So that's when he thought I'll do some mischief, and he ransacked the whole of the Ashoka garden, except the place where Sita was staying. Everything else he ransacked and threw it and took a huge size and sat down there. And everybody could see, what is this monkey doing? Who is this strange looking monkey? So huge. What a beast. And then he started shouting, I am Ramachandra's servant. I am a messenger from Rama. I'm Sugriva's minister. I've come here for... Started talking all sorts of things and shouting. And then Ravana heard about the fact that his whole garden has been completely devastated. He became very angry and at the same time sad. My beautiful garden. And this thing, he said, sent his army to send some soldiers to get that monkey, kill him. And then whoever went there one by one, he sent everybody, Jambumali, he sent his son Indrajit. Finally, Indrajit only was able to shoot a Brahmastra. All the others he killed and routed them. flying in the sky, moving here and there. Although they were shooting arrows, a fantastic war took place, and the whole of Lanka was watching one monkey doing all these things. And he made a big scene there, shouting, "I'm Rama's servant, I'm, from Sugriva's minister," and then boom, boom, he was killing all of them. And people were wondering what to do. And finally, Ravana became so hot, he sent his son. And his son and Hanuman fought. Even the demigods come in the sky to see this great fight, because Indrajit is somebody who won even Indra. And he shot his Brahmastra. Finally, he shot so many things. He said, "This monkey is too much. It's too strong. The only thing I can use is the Brahmastra." And then he shot the Brahmastra. And then Hanuman immediately knew, I have to, anyway, I want to actually get inside and see what's inside. I want to actually see Ravana. He had all his own agenda, what to do. And he was very bold, not afraid of anybody. So he got stuck in the Brahmastra and fell down, lifeless. So all of them, all the Vanara, Rakshasas and all came, "Ha, hoo," and so, "Rascal, now you're finished. This is what we'll do to you." They jumped and danced around him, called him names and everything, and then started, doing themselves. They bind him up, and they bound him up with ropes and all that, and tried dragging him. Hanuman simply pretended. Why? Because Indrajit came and said, "Oh, you fools, what are you doing? The Brahmastra is working on him. If you tie with ordinary ropes and everything, then everything will be compensated. It will go away." And then, but it went away, the effect of the Brahmastra, but Hanuman was pretending he's still under, because these fools, all the Rakshasas were dragging. He said, "Let them take me. I want to go and see Ravana." So he pretended. And so they, did all sorts of things to him, paraded him in the city, and then pushed him, ranked him and everything, and finally took him to Ravana. He took all the insult, the kicking, the this thing and everything, and the shouting and yelling and everything that they were doing. He simply behaved like as though he is completely drowsy and unable to do this thing. And they were all thinking, "We are victorious. We captured this fellow, this monkey." But he wanted to go and see Ravana. He went into Ravana. And Ravana said, "Who's this monkey? What have you got to say?" And then Hanuman said, "I have a message to you. I'm a messenger of Rama, of Sugriva. I have come to tell you that you should change your ways. You should return Sita better. If you don't want them to come and finish you, everything will be finished in this place. Rama will come in his hordes with his vanaras and everything, and they will do this. I'm just one very small messenger. I'm a very small messenger. I've been able to cross the sea and come inside." He was wondering, how did he get inside? I had such a fortification all around. So in this way, he had his conversation, and he said, "If you don't surrender to Rama, you're finished. He's coming to kill you," etc. So, "How dare you speak to me like that? Kill this fellow." And then Vibhishana came and said, "You cannot kill a messenger. He has just come to give a message." "Okay, then set fire to his tail and then beat him up and send him back." And then Hanuman got ready. They took him, they clasped his tail with cloth, put it in oil, and then they set fire to his tail. Then Hanuman suddenly broke free from the ropes and everything they had tied. Boom, he became small and the rope fell off. He got out of it. He has all this mystic power. He got out of it. He jumped with the fiery tail he has, right? He jumped on top of each of the buildings and set fire to all the buildings from one to the other, to the other, to the other. He jumped and set fire to the whole of Lanka. And he was running from there. And Sita heard all the Rakshasas. "You know what they've done to that monkey who was talking to you? This is what has happened to him." And then Sita prayed to Agni and said, "Don't burn his tail, my dear Agni. Give him a cool feeling." And therefore Agni, it seems, never touched the tail. There was no burning. He was feeling very cool and energetic. So he jumped from house to house and set everything on fire. Such a burning, huge damage he made. And then he went and jumped into the ocean, cut off the fire, And then he went and saw Sita and said, I have done what I need to do. I am leaving. And then she was so happy to see him and said, I leave. I have left a little bit of my souvenir here. But it was such a sacrilege he did. He burnt the temples, he burnt the buildings, he burnt all sorts of things. He went back to Rama. He flew back to Rama. He flew back to the Vanaras, Jambavan, and everybody waiting there. He went and told them what happened. They were all greatly happy. And they went jumping all the way back to tell Sugriva and Ramachandra and Lakshmana. And there was a massive celebration. As soon as they came, they went and destroyed the entire garden of Sugriva, ate up all the fruits and finished the whole garden. And then people went and told Sugriva, there's a whole lot of Vanaras who come and they finished your whole garden. And Hanuman is there in that and everybody's there. Then he understood that they're celebrating. They have found out Sita. Don't tell them anything. Let them do what they want. And bring them here after they finish. So they were celebrating. They celebrated. They came. And then Rama related everything only on being asked. Jambavan and others, Amgad and all of them, they spoke. And then Sugriva and Rama specifically asked Hanuman, because he's the one who went, you tell what happened. And then he related. Then he gave the little, neck, forehead piece of the jewel that Sita had given to Rama, and Rama was completely lost. He fainted seeing that. He was so happy that the news came. And he was, from hearing from Hanuman, he became so happy that he embraced Hanuman. He said, Hanuman, what you have done in finding Sita and bringing this news and so intelligently dealing with her, finding her way into Ravana's place, such skill, such intelligence, such love, such wonderful expertise you have exhibited and given her great confidence, and you have come back here to me, relate to me. All this, how can I repay to you? I have nothing equal to the service to repay to you. All I have is my embrace and love. And he embraced Hanuman very deeply. And that's a picture normally you see everywhere. Hanuman being embraced by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ramachandra. It's a beautiful scene described. I am cutting everything short because we have less time. But there are beautiful feelings and emotions exchanged. So Ramachandra comes and then takes Sita and goes back to Ayodhya. So uniting Sita with Ramachandra, in that Hanuman played a very, very important role. He formed part of the whole Vanara team, building the bridge and going across to Lanka, everything. His service did not stop. It went on. And after that, there are so many leelas of Hanuman that show wonderfully how he did what he did. So what we can learn from here is that we must accept this message of God, that this is not the permanent world. This is not our permanent identity. The permanent spiritual realm, God's kingdom, is definitely there. Vaikuntha Loka, Goloka Vrindavana. And from there, the Supreme Lord is beckoning. He has sent his messengers, he has sent Bhagavad Gita to you, and it is right there in your hands. You are able to read it. All this is happening by the mercy of Krishna on you. He is very interested in you, each one of you. And he is giving this message to you, that you must wake up, that you must take this very seriously. You must know that God, your Father, Krishna, is trying to reach you. He's already reached you, but you should awaken to that invitation. You see? And you must follow this little order of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And read the message of the Lord to you, Bhagavad Gita. You see? So, the person who brings that is really the genuine Guru. who brings Krishna to us, joins us with Krishna, gives us a process by which we can go back to Krishna. He is really the Guru. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he is very much like Hanuman. He crossed the ocean. Sannyasis are not supposed to cross the ocean and travel and all that. He broke all those rules. He crossed the ocean. He went there. He presented Bhagavad Gita to everybody on nook and corner, every street and every place, every hippie, every type of person. My dear child, you're lost, you're suffering. You belong to Krishna. With great affection and love to anybody and everybody, he gave Krishna consciousness. And he made it comfortable for them. He cooked himself. I'm willing to do anything for you. Whoever you are does not matter. Krishna loves you. And I want to show it to you by giving them prasadam, by giving them this knowledge, by helping them in whatever way they need help. And they all became deeply moved by the interest Prabhupada is taking in me. Who am I? I'm a nobody. I don't have any connection with you. You are some aged monk from India and you have come here, but you're so nice to me. Nobody else has ever been so nice to me. And this way they got attracted to Krishna. And gradually, he built his own army of people. Prabhupada sometimes compared, it's like Vanara army only. But they all had good intentions for Rama. They were mischievous, they were running down all these Vanara army people, they were doing all sorts of things. Like they destroyed the whole garden of Sugriva. It is not something, actually Vanaras are Vanaras. There are characteristics of these Vanaras. They're very agitated and very passionate. They just have many, many types of associations with many females, monkeys. They have actually very low quality. There's a beautiful verse from the Bhagavatam of Hanuman saying, we have no quality at all. We have absolutely zero quality, material quality at all. But Lord Ramachandra has accepted us. And we want to give ourselves to Ramachandra. That's all is a good thing about this. That's all is our qualification. We want to serve him out of love for him. And he loves us. However we are, wherever we are, in whatever situation we are, he loves us. Right? In this way, although Ravana's army was magnificent, high-tech army he had, best in technology and everything, with the best of warriors. And Lord Ramachandra had only Vanaras who were able to throw rocks and stones and trees, and they are not trained, skilled Kshatriyas or anything. He still won the war. Why? Because of the devotion of these Vanaras to Lord Ramachandra. In the material world, we don't really need any great material skill to become a devotee. If you simply offer yourself, if you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, understand that you have every right to relate with your father. Nobody can stop you. After all, he's your father. And after all, whatever nonsense you have been doing, if you decide, forget it, I'm going to become serious, I'm going to go back to my father. If you decide, Krishna reciprocates with you. It doesn't matter. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayisyami ma sucha. Whatever papa you have done, everything, I will completely wipe it out from your bank balance. Ma sucha, don't worry. Just sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam praja. Surrender to me. I look after you. So all we need to do is to have faith in this instruction. Krishna is my gati. And offer your service to Krishna. Have faith in these words of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. And chant Hare Krishna. And in the association of many such similar persons, derive inspiration. And it's not at all difficult to follow. These are very simple rules. And you love them. It's so wonderfully done and crafted by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. that if you simply do it, you will very easily elevate yourself in your consciousness and become a pure devotee of Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. If you have any question that you think I can answer, we'll be very happy to answer. Any questions, you can put it up on the chat, or you can physically, ask of it here also. Welcome again to all of you. Yeah. Any question? Thank you, Pramila Krishnan ji. Thank you, Ramanathan ji. And thank you, Krishna Tulsidas Samant ji. Hare Krishna. So, any questions? Here is your chance. Questions? Somebody has written question 1. Please clarify, is the enjoying mentality? What's the full question? Please clarify, is the enjoying mentality is also taken up by Krishna when we surrender? Well, the nature of the soul, Anandamayo Bhyasat. By nature, he seeks bliss, happiness. That's the nature. That's why we are called Satchitananda. That's our original description. Sat Chit Ananda. Even the Lord is Satchitananda Vigraha. Eternity, bliss, and knowledge. Ananda means bliss. Sat, eternity, Chit, knowledge. Sat Chit Ananda. That's the nature of the Lord and the nature of the living entity also. So incorporated within us naturally is a desire for happiness, bliss, Ananda. But the point now is, you are trying to search for it in the wrong place. In the realm of matter. Because you also think you are matter, I am this body you think. And you're trying to get it out of matter. And it seems like you can get it. It's an illusory happiness. And you run behind it like a mirage. Sometimes you get a little bit here and there, flashes of some sense gratification, some good food, some this thing, some that thing, and all that. But it doesn't last. It's just meant to keep you going. It's a design like that. But you know, if you think deeply, that this is not really, I'm not satisfied. Nobody is ever satisfied with any enjoyment in this world. That's the amazing history of this world. So, Anandamayo Bhyasat means you are seeking that enjoyment which you originally know, which comes in association with the supreme enjoyer, Krishna. Bhoktaram yajñatapasam sarvaloka maheshwara sukritam sarvabhutanam yatmamam shantim richati. Krishna is saying this. I am the original enjoyer. You tie up with me, you automatically enjoy. Right? When we are with the original supreme enjoyer, how will you lack anything? So that is eternal enjoyment without a break, real enjoyment, not illusion. That is what we're looking for. But we're not getting it. It's like you're looking for sugar cane. In South India, you have Pongal time and everybody is eating sugar cane. Those days, in my younger days, there was lots of sugar cane we used to eat. But nowadays, it's become very scanty. Here and there, you see it. But you eat a lot of sugar cane. It's very juicy to eat. And it's exciting to eat. People sit together and sit and eat sugar cane. They bite it out of their teeth and wrench it out, the skin, and then juicily eat it. It's exciting. But what if you're looking for a sugar cane and something similar to a sugar cane is given to you? A bamboo stick. And it is artificially sweetened a little bit here and there. And you're fooled. It's bitter And it's sweet a little bit, after it turns bitter. It's all crazy. But still it's being marketed and pushed and everything, and this is what you will get here, and so you're okay a little bit. But then afterwards, it's not really good. But in your mind, you're looking for sugarcane. You know it. You know how it looks, you know how it tastes, everything. But you're not getting it. You're getting some imitation enjoyment. Similarly, material life means you're looking for that original enjoyment in the wrong place, with the wrong tools, and with the wrong idea. But you know what you want. But you'll never find it here. It's all disappointing. It's designed to disappoint you, so that you'll ask for the real. I mean, where the hell is that sugarcane? I know it. I want to get that. That's what the soul is looking for. He's looking for Krishna. He's looking for that relationship which Krishna is promising. Anandamayodhyasat. See? So, rasa. Rasam hi evayam labdvananda bhavati. Raso vai saha. Rasam hi evayam labdvananda bhavati. The soul is looking for that rasa, that relationship of love with Krishna, which gives him the maximum bliss. Raso vai saha. That is what it is. That's what we are looking for. Rasam hi evayam labdvananda bhavati. That is what I'm looking for. Sure, eva, certainly. And if I get that, labdva ananda bhavati, I will be in bliss. Krishna rasa, bhakti rasa, the relationship rasa. So much is spoken about it beautifully in the Bhagavatam, and great acharyas have written about it. This is what you're looking for. So your enjoying tendency, which you're talking about now, is nothing compared to what you originally have in you. Nothing is going to be taken out of you. You will be restored to your original enjoying tendency, which is 1,000,000 times greater than this small thing, which you're enjoying with your senses for a brief time. Then you grow old, then your senses also become, useless, and you can't enjoy anymore, and you're raving for it in your heart, and you're waiting and waiting until you'll be born again to enjoy your senses again, temporarily. It's actually big cheating going on by Maya, right? So we are asked to wake up to the original enjoyment and go back to the place where we belong, and there naturally we can enjoy. It's natural to us to enjoy because we're Satchitananda. That enjoyment, millions and billions of times greater. So Krishna is inviting you to take that. Nothing is going to lose. You're not going to lose anything. You're only going to gain immensely. We don't even understand that, what we're going to gain. That's what Krishna is trying to explain that in Bhagavad Gita to you. Neha bikrama nasosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpam apiyasya dharmasya. You're not going to lose anything. There's no loss. There is only gain if you become a devotee of the Lord. And that gain also is so huge, you can't even estimate it now. So we welcome all of you to take it up very seriously. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Wishing you a wonderful week ahead. Sweet dreams of Krishna. Om Tat Sat. Have a happy Ramanavami on 21st with Lord Ramachandra's blessings pouring on you. Please tell Rama, I am yours, Ramachandra, and chant his names. And in this way, I'm sure he will protect you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.